Okay, we're finally live. Thank you. Thank you, honey. So, I think my spirit guides like Chris. And they caused this little havoc scene here for us. Hopefully you can see me now. It's been interesting. They put me in an old video stream. They said it was live. They wouldn't put me here, but I could see you and chat with you. So we were intersecting dimensions. And then I had to close everything, come back in, get into the right stream, and then it wouldn't recognize that I was live. I still don't know why. So I finally called Chris, and he came with his magic, and now here we are. So then suddenly he goes, oh, we're live. So we don't know how long we've been live. All right. Hello. So we are going to have a great time by starting with taking advantage of clearing all that energy to get us here in the same space, in the same dimension. So whatever energies were clogging and blocking our way, we are here now inside of the Sacred Infinity Healing Chamber, wrapped in the all-seeing eye, surrounded with the flower of life, spherical consciousness, and we rise to infinity through this veil of copal and cinnamon, cleansing and clearing. We ask that the earth elements, the crystal kingdoms, the animal kingdoms, the insects, the minerals, the ores, the waters, the elements, the celestials, the trees, the roots, the humans, the past, the present, the potential futures, all that was and all that has been. We meet now in this place between the worlds. I am Akasha. I embody space. This space connects you into the Akasha. The Akasha is pure potential energy materials for you to create that which is optimal for your soul's path at this time. It's also filled with everything you've been and everything anyone else has ever been in any life, in any time, space continuum, or dimension, planet, and so on. These are simply realities. These are simply dimensions. These are different states of consciousness. You shift and sift through them. You do this all the time. You don't even know that you're a traveler because you don't perceive that you do it. You go to sleep and you dream. So inside of this chamber, it's like being lifted with all the love in the world and all the guides and elements that are optimal for each of us at this time will now begin to manifest. They don't have to appear to your eyes. You don't have to see them in all of their form. You may sense, you may feel. You may not have a clue. You may see vividly. You may sense the touch or the love or the presence. You may feel something familiar. We're moving into the realm of the spirit guides, and the spirit guides are energies that embody all kinds of forms and consciousness, that therefore hold all kinds of perspectives, wisdom, or what we call medicine. We want to speak of medicine, the idea of medicine, energy medicine. Energy medicine is an interesting concept because we don't see medicine and energy as separate. Everything is energy. Because we are always connected to our oneness, we can see with our unique perspectives I believe who is coming through right now, it's some kind of a bird. It's a very big bird. You keep changing. It has an eagle-ish quality, but as soon as I start to see an eagle, it refuses and it turns into some kind of a parrot or a macaw. And then it kind of laughs, bobs its head up and down, and turns into something else very grand, very big. So we have bird energy. So the spirit guides of bird are here for all of us. And within your particular cell, your particular sphere, your light body, that you're now here in this infinity healing chamber with me between the worlds. This place is aligned to only and always align with what is optimal to your highest good at this moment. So you can relax and trust because your intuitive network is operating all around you, whether you feel it, sense it, know it, or not. If you don't know what I'm talking about different aspects of your energetic body and system. You have mental, emotional, and etheric fields. Your body is a field too. Your physical body, you perceive it as solid, but it's not. And then each other level is more subtle. But you know you have a mind and you know you have emotions. You can feel them, you can sense them, and they can create all kinds of havoc, including disease in your body. And you know that you carry these and you carry codes from other places and other lives. And so this is a destiny point. We've called everyone here today as a bird kingdom. Okay, you want to be called a kingdom. Yeah. So I feel a collective when it's talking about dolphins that live in bodies in the 3D, that live in all the other layers of, they like auric fields, so the auric field of the planet, of other planets, and that seems to be their transfer system. I've never seen, they're showing me a bit more right now. So the dolphins are here, especially the rainbow dolphins who brought us a message a few days back. Thank you. This is a sacred chamber that adapts, instantly begins to work with you, lovingly bringing you what you need, taking what you don't, aligned only through the guidance of your higher self, your I am presence, your soul's blueprint, your body elemental, the intelligence within. All of these aspects of you can navigate through your field. So you're never alone, even if you think you are. You are the observer and you are the consciousness. You are the actor and you are the designer, the director, the writer. You're judging your life as it unfolds. You should be above it with your wings spread like we are, looking through the eyes. The eagle eye, the bird eye, all forms of this kind of vision is nothing like yours. It works kind of like infrared, and there's more than just visuals. We see energy fields, we see color, we see the movement inside that color. Is it heat? Is it hot? Right? We can read the auric field of all things that move from a long way away, and we don't need to be able to, although we do have keen vision too in the eyes, you know, the physical eyes, but what we're reading is the signature, the energetic signature of the mouse or the rabbit or excuse me, whatever it is that we're watching. And that is a communication that has nothing to do with actual 3D vision, because the eyes function as eyes that see in different levels. So when you have someone who can see, sense, perceive energies in people, or talk to people who've been deceased, or get visions, or get dream solutions to everything from tech problems to who knows what, how to find the money to do what you want. All these forms of communication need you to rise to a higher level and to see it. But this is a sensory seeing. So we want you to see and sense from our perspective, a very high perspective. This isn't quite the height of that pinnacle 5D that has no judgment, but you will see that there's not the emotion in our vision. What we decide something means that we see is not filled with emotion. We don't feel hatred or anger or passion or the desire to kill the way that a human feels it when we see a rabbit and we go after the rabbit to eat it, to pick it up. What we see is an energetic signature, and we lock on and we begin to communicate. And we start to play in the same field, in the same current. And it's like your video games where you're following and you're moving almost like through, even if it isn't really that far, it's energetically, you're seeing the energies and you're meeting, and your souls are having a meeting, and you're connecting through systems like in a submarine that would have all kinds of sensors for specific things that were important to a submarine. This is how we see. You have multiple colorful layers of being able to see, and they will be coming online. Many of you can see energies 3D and etheric, and in many, many levels. Many of you sense them in a different way, but that ends up giving you a sight, a vision. And we want you to keep thinking of it as seeing, because we feel that our seeing that you would think is only of our physical eye is that we are seeing through dimensions, we are seeing vibration, we are seeing energy, and we're reading frequency like songs almost. We're reading frequencies that match something. And it's like a computer scanning hundreds of thousands of things, and then suddenly coming up with a match for what you're searching for. And there's many layers to who you are that aren't physical. So we know that everything we do has an impact on all layers of our being and all layers of the other being that we're looking at or whatever. The idea is that you fly above your own life. You watch yourself from above. You see the energy signature in you, and you act as your own guide by saying, oh, look, I can see up ahead, the road is out. Let's send her some kind of a signal. What could we do? You start to connect to that part of you that has eagle vision, that part of you that has been in a sacred training or a circle or a connection to bird spirit, to height and sight, to high expanded views from 5D consciousness. Higher than that, you become a creator. 5D is a beautiful place to go to watch. It is where you see the map of your life. It is where you decipher and unravel the things that have been happening to you. You start to see everything as an archetype, a pattern, a sign, a symbol, a message. You understand there's languages that are going on. And if you're not paying attention, or you're not trusting what you're hearing, or you're too busy to stop and listen, then you are making life much more difficult. So the message to begin is to rise up inside of this beautiful healing chamber. These energies of gold light bathing you from above and below are like rays of the sun filled with codes. And those codes become liquid light and they glisten, and you open to that energy signature that we talked about and align with just the right information in that one sun ray. When you do, there's a match. There's a part of you that knows exactly what it's looking for. And now is the time for you to rise up and not judge yourself, and to watch from above, and to be your own guide. Namaste. Thank you. Very nice. We have already a lot of spirit guides here. We've been talking all week about, we've been talking to the dolphins, we've been talking to Mayan goddess Ixchel of the moon, we've been talking to the cacao spirit and essence, we've gone to the sacred pyramid of Kukulkan, and we've been looking at the sacred magic in the earth, in the wind, in the elements, in everything around us. So today the spirits came and said, could we just play? Could we just talk to you? Absolutely. So I can, oh my gosh, Zen, I'm so excited. Namaste, thank you, thank you. What a delight, delight, delight. Ooh, yay. Okay, so if you've been following this week at all, you can get all the replays. Perseus, the little baby girl dolphin, who's about 7-8 months now, but we still can't get access to work with, so probably in our December retreat, is this is my little representation of her, and she's been bringing through a lot of messages, so we're going to be doing a lot more from her. The other dolphin realms, they're all going to come together in a book at least, into more and more messages on a regular basis, because they're recalibrators of frequency. What we've just done is received a message from eagle, macaw, parrot, and condor, maybe, like those kind of bird energies were going on all up here in my head. I was seeing from the outside the different transformations of my head being the bird head, feathers, eyes, beak, and then also parts of the wing just from up here. And it was all just up here, talking, showing, being up above, watching things from way above, like maybe a video game that you're familiar with. So that was a beautiful message. All right, so before we started, all these beautiful spirit energies were coming from a lot of the retreats I've had, a lot of the things that I've done. So we're going to start a little journey together. And what I want you to do is, if you want to write something, into the chat, you can, or just announce yourself that you are here. Whoa. An enormous coconut branch just fell. Holy me, wow. So that's what they do. So you're here, okay? You're part of the energy field. Your energy is going to be affecting it. And we are going to all be together, and yet you're going to be getting your own answers. Okay, you might be receiving spirit guides that are coming to you, like, well, I was seeing a snake and it was showing me to shed more and more layers and, all this kind of thing, because Kukulkan does that with me all the time. So please be aware that this is going to be like a fluid thing, clearly. And I'm going to start to go in. Okay. We're going to do that now. I understand. Okay, so we are going to look at, all right, so You're here and you have questions. You can bring those questions into your belly. You can ask them to rise up out of your heart and form a little ball of energy in front of you. Whatever you see, feel, perceive, let your intuitive inner guidance show you. This is a huge opportunity to be in sacred space between the worlds. I want you to let go of everything. Turn your phone off. Give yourself permission to be here fully. That you're ready and willing and open and receptive to receive whatever the guidance is for you today. And that this guidance can come to you in any way that's optimal. That means if you don't see or think you got anything, you're going to say that you still did, even though you don't know what it is. Maybe you fell asleep. That might happen, okay? And then tomorrow, I'm going to do the spiritual weather report and the multidimensional meditation. And we're going to be channeling Venus energy, the energy of love and money and wishes. And it's going to be a beautiful thing because we're going to start looking at how do you see, decipher, and follow the guidance that's already all around you. So why do you want to know it's the full moon, or that Venus is doing this beautiful dance with something that is bringing a lot of wonderful energy around looking at your love relationships, or increasing your opportunities for growth in your money or your business or your job? And it isn't to hand your power over to anything like that. So I don't agree with that, because you're reading a map. You're going, okay, where are we? We're right here. Oh, okay, we're at a crossroads. We have to decide, are we going to go up through the forest? Are we going to go through the cave? Or are we going to go down through the valley? All those three different ways we could go. That's what you're doing with spiritual weather report, with energies, right? And then what we do is we talk to those energies. We start to intuitively communicate with the energies of what's happening. And what's the most fun thing that's going to be happening this summer is some cool Venus stuff. So there's guidance already all around you. And we're going to play with that right now, and we're going to play with it more tomorrow. So we're going to tune into the signs and symbols and synchronicities that your soul's path is aligning you with right now, because you are never alone. You're being talked to, communicated with, guided, or the door's open, or the door's ready to open for you. In any moment, so much guidance is just already there for you. You have to be able to raise your vibration, to let go of certain things, to tune into it, to see it, to believe it, to feel it. But you can start to just assume. So you're never alone, you're always supported, and we're going to discover how loving and wish-fulfilling these upcoming energies are. Because when you start to communicate with these energies that are starting and they're coming down the road, it's like talking to your friend. I'm so excited. I know you're coming to visit. Your visit's going to be great. How can I get things ready for you? I'm so excited about thinking about getting my wishes fulfilled, about the Venus energy of love, and just bringing it down into earth, into energy that can be manifested into something that I can enjoy because I'm here in a body for a reason. So I want you to come, start right now, make your wishes, and know that they're going to be unfolding in some way. It might be the most unusual, strange way, and you have to let go of it being the way you want it. There's so many other ways for things to come to you. So your wishes are going to start coming true. You're going to start manifesting things into the reality. It may not be anything you thought you wanted, so you have to be ready and willing to let go of that and receive the support. Always through what's for your highest good and optimal at this time, always through your intuitive team, okay? You never have to worry about that. However, you can start to open to the support of earth spirits now. That could be dirt, oil, minerals, crystals, waters, rocks, all kinds of different parts of earth. And we're a part of earth. Humans and animals are a part of earth. So all those earth spirits, elementals, water, wind, and so on, ancestors, ancient wisdom in the land, in buildings, in sacred places, animal spirits in form, animal spirits, spirit guides, places that have been imbued with energies, symbols that hold codes and energies and open portals, ascended masters and god goddesses, and all that. You could just go on, angels and, you know, mermaids and people from other planets. There's communication happening all the time. All right, so that's what we're playing here the last couple days of our fun together. So that will be tomorrow, Love, Money, and Wishes, with the signs, symbols, and synchronicities. Okay, so remember that all these are here on the list. The Sacred Cacao Spirit Journey, how to approach it, how to do it sacredly, how to make cacao, everything. The amazing full moon Ancient Mayan Pyramid tour I took you on, through and up the pyramid into the temple, when Perseus was giving us all kinds of fun messages. Rainbow Dolphin Spirit Realm came. This was all the readings in the beginning. And I want you to remember there's a retreat coming up. And there's some of you out there that know that you're meant to do something, and it's starting to dawn on you now. Around the 11th or 12th of June, a lot of people are going to wake up and realize, oh, I want to do that. I want to manifest that in the world. I want to not just think about it. I want to actually do it. So take a look at seeing if you could talk to your future self, receive spirit guidance tonight about whether you should come for June 30th, or whether you should do the intuition and summer camp, or whatever, right? Just pick anything in your life. It's going to dawn on you. So if you could start to get a preview guidance now, you'd get a head start on something that might be something you would just, your spirit does not want you to miss out. When I think about what people said from the March retreat, and they were like, I just knew I was meant to be here. Everything had to just happen to make it happen. And it did. And, you know, I started getting healing before I even came, and so on and so forth. So the, come on, cooperate now, please. Thank you. A little slow. Okay, so we're going to go look at some guides over here. And this is a really amazing thing that you probably have had the honor and the blessing of having happen in your life. So my Intuition Accelerator students, we've been looking at symbols. We've been looking at messages in nature, what's coming to us. 3 blue herons, you know. I was out swimming pretty far out in the ocean one morning, and I rescued 2 different yellow ladybugs about 10-15 minutes apart. Very strange. So these are spirit guides, okay? These things are speaking to us. I want you to realize they're speaking, and these are my beautiful friends. These are our pod. These are beautiful beings that love to play with us, love to communicate with us, love to receive our healing and our love, and love to bring us beautiful messages. They love to untangle our wiring. And so what we're going to do is look at, we've had in our retreats, like here, dolphins, manatees, iguanas. And this woman has been on a spiritual awakening for a couple of years, but things were happening to her in the 5 days here that have never happened to her. She missed most of the first day too. She didn't get in till late the first day, and she still felt the healing because I called her in, and she's a part of it. So the minute you decide to come, you were part of it. She started seeing visions that she had never done before, and she started receiving very clear communications with the dolphins and the manatees and a particular iguana that came into our ceremonial space after the temple activation at the ancient site of Tulum. And she said, it's also weird and amazing to see this fast change in my gifts. And that's one of the cool things about coming in person, is how fast you change. In 1 week of your life, 1 week, It's the equivalent, somebody just said this to me, easily the equivalent of 5 years of spiritual growth, of hard work. Okay, I've never seen this fast of a change. I've never seen visions before. I've never had such clear, direct animal communication before. I'm talking to iguanas, and it was really fun because it kept going after we left. This beautiful iguana that came up after my ceremony came into our circle, walked on us, licked us, and then brought her baby up to see us. So these kinds of magical things happen, but you don't have to see it in the physical for a spirit guide to come to you, okay? Now, when we work with these dolphins are in the physical, and yet once you connect with them, you will always be a part of their pod. You will always be spiritually connected, even when they leave their body. You know, particular being, Shadia, a dolphin that I worked with for a lot and is so dear to me. She passed from her body last year, and I found out, and it was a strange experience because I felt sad. I couldn't kiss her, hug her, and yet I didn't feel like she was gone. And she started appearing in readings, and you get a private dolphin session with me before the retreat. And she appeared over 2 of the people before the last retreat in their sessions, like an enormous, enormous blue, I say angel. It's an angelic type presence. There's no like wings or gowns. It's a giant dolphin, okay? But she was like a matriarch. She was like the queen. She was quite formidable and quite loving and an incredibly powerful healer. And she's become this huge guide that is sort of just over us, like hovering like an enormous UFO or something. And we have beings like this. We have Cielo, Lulu, Thor, Estrella. They're recalibrating you. Okay, they're bringing you up to joy. When you're disconnected from those lower states, you heal very quickly. Your communication and intuitive lines open up and are very clear. You go to states of bliss. You see and understand things very quickly. Sometimes it's a bit like a plant medicine journey. Not that you get psychedelic at all, but you have this high level, high mind clarity when you're with them. They recalibrate and help bodies physically heal. There's so much love. Look, they both have their eyes closed. This is a moment of bliss. And if I could tell you what the energy was doing, maybe you could tune into it. There's a weave of little dots of almost like tiny little red hearts or something coming from the dolphin up right into Deborah's throat and then looping around into her heart and coming back into the dolphin. These kind of experiences you see in the water, how the vibration is coming. They're vibrating, they're sending messages, they're scanning you, they're sonar messaging, they're recalibrating you, they're checking what everything is, physically, mentally, emotionally. They know if you have any implants in your body, and they know just the perfect frequency. Sometimes they come together during our meditations. We do this where we get to feel their heart. And then we get to lean our hearts near theirs. And I teach you like this to have a heart-to-heart communication. And you can do it right here from this picture. You could do it by calling the dolphins of any dolphins you've ever met in person, or to the dolphin realms, to the dolphin collective, to the dolphin spirit level. They're multidimensional, they're aware of it. So Shadia is still in form somewhere, and she's also fully aware, of her connection to me and the people that she was close to here. And she's also navigating other realms, not really different than what she did before. So dolphins make incredible guides because they balance the frequency in the waters. The waters all talk to each other throughout. We do all of these third eye activations. So again, you can call on your spirit guides to do whatever the optimal activation to your light body that's for you. And you always do this in a sacred space to what's optimal for you. You always do this connected to your highest good, so that they're guiding the optimal way for this to come to you, how much to come to you. You don't overload your system or anything. And these beautiful friends, when we come in person, I hadn't seen them in several years because of the pandemic and everything. And getting to be back with them again was like being in Technicolor. It was even more amazing than I remembered, and it was amazing what I remembered. And now we're weaving, and we repeat the entanglement. We support each other with our hearts, with our love, with our eyes. They're sending energy to us, but we're also sending energy to them. Even with your spirit guides, if it feels like you don't know what you're doing and you just need help, you're never a bumbling idiot. You're a co-creator on your path. And these beings can open up, heal. This is part of the reason that this lady was the one who said that she started having visions and she started talking, is because of this. So you can see we did this over and over and over, and we play and we connect, and we have this amazing experience where pretty soon we've become friends that they run up to us. We come back, we play, they tell us what to do, they say, you sing, you dance. This was, you know, can I have a kiss? And they came over and said yes. Manatees, I highly recommend if you ever have the opportunity to kiss, touch, hold, feed, hold like a baby. A manatee is quite profound. They have the softest, most beautiful, loving energy. They eat all the time, 16 tons or something of vegetables a day. They're pure vegetarians, they're pure love. And everybody ends up being absolutely in love with them. And Chani began to do a third eye awakening with one when we get a lot of extra time with our beings and our friends, and we get to do the floating meditation, which to me is the pinnacle. And so we do several of these. I think we do 2 of these. And what happens is that the dolphins are free to go do whatever they want. And we float, we're completely supported, and for an hour. And this is after we've played with them, we've done healing, I've done healing work on you in the water, and they begin to move around. And this is me doing some right before this, one session, I was doing some calibration. We've played with them, they love playing ball, love it. When I first started doing this, we had to entice them. The next aspect of spirit guides that come are when we go on sacred ceremonies. So we go into pure water caves. We do cacao ceremonies, and as you know from the other day, cacao is an essence and a spirit guide. It really opens your heart. This jungle here is a very sacred space. This is a place of the mother's womb. This is the place of Mary, Guadalupe, of the pure, loving mother. And this is a place where miraculous healings have happened. It's down below our feet. This is where we have our welcome tea, and we have cleansing by copal and pre-Hispanic music. It's all sacred ceremony. And the symbols that are on the different instruments, the way that the cacao is presented, this conch shell that's sitting here, that the Maya blow it, and it opens a portal. So if you hear that conch shell, it's a sign or a symbol talking to you. It's a being, just because it's not alive in the way that we think is alive. It holds all of the DNA and energy of that being who made that shell as its home, and now is getting to be used in another sacred way. It holds the energy. The feathers, the paintings on the pots, the Ixchel and the different goddesses that we call. The cave itself is going into the womb, going into Shibalba, going into the underworld, going into your sacral, going back to the base of your original cells, your inner child, but to the magical child, to the whole child, to the part of you that creates from pure joy, opening the heart with all these different ways of cacao. And then we're connecting to spirit guides by eating it, by rubbing it on our skin, by holding it to our heart, by speaking to it in a sacred way, in a sacred ceremony, by allowing the earth to welcome us, by being reverent and doing this experience in a way where this is where we go into the womb here, we co-create all of these plants here. There was a plant here that called us this last time I've never seen, and I've been here many times. It's a private cenote. So this is for my retreats. I do my very best to find us unique, beautiful places that nobody else does, if possible. There's no other people, and our ceremonies are never for the public or for anyone else. And this plant was a little ways around the corner from here. The leaves were so big, I could wear it as a full dress. It was quite amazing. So spirit guides that take you into Xibalba is what the Maya call it, into the underworld. They're taking you where? They're taking you into your subconscious. So down here we have bats. I love bats. And if bats speak to you, then when bats do amazing things, when animals or spirits do amazing things, unusual things, you know that they're speaking to you. So we have the bats in the cenote, in the caves, and that's, of course, expected, and I love it. It's one of my favorite parts of it. They're talking and chirping and making little noises. Sometimes birds come. We have the sun coming down, right? That element of the sun. There's fish in the cenote, and there's these stalactites that have music in them. And you can go amongst them. You can be surrounded in them with the water above in your chest. And you're just there, and you can hum and you can tone. And it's like you have keys that begin to open the frequencies of the spirits within the stone, within the ancient mysteries of the earth, the healing powers of this womb-like water area of the cave, and the cacao opening your heart. So for us, we have the intention on the first day of healing and coming to center, accepting who we are, being wrapped in love, and going into this sacred space, healing with the womb and the mother. We had a bat come to us at the top of a pyramid. Now, a bat in a cave, of course. A bat at the top of a pyramid in daylight, totally weird. So at the top of Koba, I was blessed 5 times to get my group in early, before at 6:30 in the morning, before the sun rose, before anyone was allowed in at 8. And we had Mayan taxis specially waiting for us that whisked us through the jungle. It's a man on a bike pulling you on a little chair. And the mist is in the jungle. The jaguar is there. You can feel and sense the monkeys, the birds. It's still, yet it's just filled, okay, filled with life. And the ancestors are there, and the spirits are there, and they come out at night. And when we come on the equinox, it is a power day of a portal opening. So whether you go in a cave and you do sacred ceremony or go to the top of a pyramid, everything else is in this peak moment of ceremony, of portal opening, of shifting. And we climbed to the top of the tallest Mayan pyramid, and then I would lead an activation. We came back after one particular activation. Everybody had had their eyes closed, and there was a bat. And it was just hanging on the temple of the descending God, who's us. And it wasn't there before, and it was just hanging there. And it was alive, and it was just like, hey, hanging out. I mean, long. We stood there, took pictures of it. It was like, wow, it was strange. And we had a tarantula. Nowhere to be seen when we went into the ceremony, crawl out into the center of our circle on the top of this pyramid while we all had our eyes closed and die. And don't get upset. I rarely ever see them here, but they don't hurt anybody. They don't hurt you. It was, I mean, that's just like incredible, okay? Incredible. The spirit guidance of that alone could take you 6 months to unravel in your life. the medicine power of a being dying in the center of your sacred circle at the top of a pyramid on the equinox as dawn is happening. These are all, I bring together all these energies because they open these unbelievable portals. Iguanas talk to you. We have swarms and swarms of dragonflies over us. Alon, my friend, yesterday talked about that at his wedding at Tulum, where I was his spiritual godparent, me and Chris, and we were in the center of the circle with them and the shaman in Tulum, and the swarms of these blue dragonflies came over us. This has happened to me in my group as well. Bees across the field everywhere, tiny bees, none of them touching you, levitating us. Okay, birds that tone, we tone om, and then this birds in the trees go om. Birds that are known for living near the caves, these sacred Tohoku birds, like a quetzal sort of, gorgeous, long, unusual tails, blue. They were up at the top of this pyramid too. What are they doing up there? They're cenote birds. When they're out of their ordinary place, you know that there's a very powerful message coming. We have iguanas, dogs. There was a dog many times at the top of this pyramid and other pyramids that then made the papers and got adopted and shipped off to another country. So the dog, strange. We have light beings like crazy show up, the spheres of light. Because there's a sacred spirit is in the cacao seeds, right? A sacred spirit is in the dirt, is in the rock, is in the water. Sacred spirit of the light of the sunlight is coming through. Here is the cenote, this round womb. This is, again, there's an oculus where the sun comes through, this pure waters and the stillness and this sacredness of every element here. They're all spirit guides. They speak to everyone who comes to the retreats in a different way. And then we see the light beings that appear on the pictures and the crystals that change. When we go to some of the pyramids, we had one time where everybody's crystals started to grow things inside of them. Shapes, pyramids, they started to glow. They started to have gold in them. They changed throughout the whole retreat. They changed when they went home. Crystals they had at home had changed. I talked to a crystal expert. He says he's never heard of such a thing. So this was the iguana experience. So we're going to be at a different temple of the next two retreats, each one always a different temple. So you can come back. We always had that. We were at Tulum for this one. And I was doing this, the ceremony here. We're next to the temple there. I was drawing different sacred symbols and going around the circle. And this iguana came up from that cliff right there, goes right off to the ocean. This iguana came up. And iguanas are about intuition. And this iguana was very unusual, had a strange growth on its tail. But look, it came up, went under Deb, licked her bag, did something, licked something of hers, came into the center of the circle. You can see there's different symbols there now. I do active symbols and light language and receiving, and the elements were there talking to us, and the spirits and the water spirits came up from underneath. So the spirit guides that come to you when you're in person, some of them are ancient, some of them are the elements in the cenotes beneath the temple right here. Some are the ancient spirits from different time periods in the temple or people that lived in the temple. Some are other animals that are here. There's coatis here. The wind and the sea was a very big element here, was pounding us. But this beautiful being came, and this was all about why we all started to sing. We created an unusual song that we now everybody uses to heal, and they immediately connect back to each other, to this place, to the temple. And then she went over and brought her baby up. So it was very, very unusual. We go into the cenotes. They each have a different personality. We call this the mermaid one. You can swim on the rock and pose like a mermaid. And it's open, yet it's a cave. And the water spirits that are in here, the rock spirits that are in here, the mermaid energy in this particular one is quite powerful, even though It is a pure water, and all the elements that go in the jaguar. We have our ceremonies, not always the jaguar ceremonies, but we have sacred Mayan ceremonies. There's all the symbols we have on the wall. The temple has ears, eyes, directions, hearts, the tree of life, the instruments. There's meaning in symbols, and all of these are spirit guides. The ancient spirit guides come, the jaguar spirit guides come, very important. And these are here. Sometimes there's a butterfly he had, and another bird one there. I had the dolphin shirt on to bring the dolphins in. This is where I was given the jaguar skull to hold and to channel from, that downloaded a whole new level of that spirit guide being connected to my path. So those are some of the animal spirit guides that have been coming to us there's so many more too in our things. There was one where we went to our cacao ceremony, and there was a cenote, and it had some lights in the caves, right? So that's not very attractive, is it? And the lights in the caves, we were in the water. So we were getting ready for the ceremony. So we were, dressed in our white, and we were walking around, connecting to the land, getting ready to enter the sacred ceremony. And the cacao ceremony that we do always on the first day in the afternoon to open our hearts. And we went into one little cave where there was water, and there was like a blue and purple light in there. And one lady, well, all of us went in and we looked and we went, oh, it's pretty. And all we saw was water. And one lady went in, and a turtle just appeared, literally felt like it manifested in the water, swam right over to her. And they had this whole interaction. And we stood there for a long time and we took pictures until they called us to the ceremony. And it was like just mind-boggling, really, the level of communication that happens. So let's see what the spirit guides want to share with us now. Good. Mm-hmm. Mm. So the hummingbird is a very powerful spirit guide to me. I think I wasn't really like a person that had a lot of hummingbird pictures around. I love having a hummingbird feeder. And then when I was teaching Light Body School, the hummingbird came to me to tell me that they embody the frequency of joy. And joy is a very, very high frequency. It's also what the dolphins embody. And it's where you have happiness in your emotional field, right? Where all of these different levels of reverence and joy are just the natural state, whether it's your emotional field or other aspects of you. The Native Americans, some of the tribes that I studied with, had hummingbird as a very important guide. I have a drum from the Taos Pueblo painted, and one of the 4 spirit guides on it is a hummingbird. So we have right now hummingbird coming. There's several of you. This is for everyone, but there's several of you here that have a very strong, special connection to hummingbird. And they're saying this is the eve of something, not the eclipse. What is this? This is the eve of the summer. So there's something about right now, the next day or two, it feels like, that's the eve of something, like the threshold of something, the doorstep of something that's going to manifest. And because we will be tomorrow tuning into that Venus, love, wishes, and all of that good energy, this could be that. So we're on the eve of something. So there's a yellow hummingbird, and it's very vivid, the eyes. The beak's coming here, and its body is curving forward. The body is very, very yellow, bright yellow. I don't think I've ever seen one like that. The wings are staying green, but it's bending that way. You know how they can do. And looking us straight in the eye. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Canary, a canary hummingbird. Is that a real thing? Doesn't matter. Got it. So this is a spirit guide. There's somebody here named Deb. This is a guidance for Deb. This is a guidance for Terry. This is a guidance for Kim, and this is a guidance for Enza and Julie. Those are all the specific names I'm seeing right now, but that doesn't mean that it may not be for you. So hummingbird, hummingbird, hummingbird. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So I don't hear the wings, and they almost look like they're not moving. Like when something goes faster and faster and you stop seeing it spin, and then it just looks, they're like that. It's like moving so fast. But the stance of the hummingbird is showing I'm taking, like drinking, but I'm curved down. Like it's almost like you're in the position of running away, you know, of getting ready but I'm out of here. Like I'm just ready to take out the door. I don't quite trust receiving. I don't trust receiving this sweetness. I don't trust receiving the sweetness of this nectar. It may not be safe. When something good happens to me, when something wonderful presents itself, it feels not quite safe to trust it, not quite safe to fully immerse myself in it and be in that open, phase. This is more like down, pulling, and ready to go. And it's important because you're also like yellow, like you're like screaming your energy. You're so easy to be seen. And you still think that you're going to just dash away, that you're just going to duck out. And there isn't a confrontation that you can't have right now. There isn't a confrontation that has to be a confrontation. But there is something you have to recognize is you are big and you're bright, you're strong, and it's time for you to relax and to receive the sweetness of life and do it in a relaxed way. Drop into your body, allow yourself to taste and enjoy that nectar of life. Thank you. Now there's a very tiny hummingbird coming in. It has a purple, that very incredible green that's iridescent and kind of a deeper and a I don't even know how to describe it, a beautiful purple to part of its body and head. Very small. So it wants to light on your finger. It wants to light on your finger. It wants you to put your left pointer finger up so it can sit there. Hello, my love. Hello, my love. Hello, my love. So I want you to feel it. I want you to start to sense that this is here. Imagine by turning your finger around, by feeling those little feet touching your finger. Just gentle, like a very gentle little claw, just holding on, the lightness of this bird, how it's looking at you and it's trusting you. You move your finger and your hand and your arm up and down and around, and just sits there. And you look eye to eye. You can hear a vibration now. She's downloading a vibration into us. She's downloading a vibration into us. That is like a frequency that jumps starts things. It's like vroom, 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 she's not moving. She's sitting perfectly still. But she's sending that super high frequency that she lives within because she's so tiny. She said it's hard for her to stay in a physical world that be seen. She has such a light frequency, she moves in and out of frequencies, dimensions. She's always getting off track of where she's going because she moves into the fourth, fifth dimension, and then she realizes and she has to come back down. That she's intent on downloading it to you, and she says, do not diminish my power and value by judging my size. So just receive that. It feels very delicious, like pouring down the throat. Breathe it into the heart. Let it settle into the stomach. Breathe it. Let it settle deeper and deeper and deeper. How beautiful. Whew. All right, Sylvia. Hello, my love. Sylvia. I feel there's a message here. We want to say thank you, thank you, thank you to the hummingbird. Sylvia is going to be our guide. How delightful. So all of us here right now, the spirit guides want to take us on an adventure. They want us all to pretend that we're here together. We're underground. We're outside the mouth of a cave. And Sylvia's been given the torch. She has the torch in her hand. She's going to be our leader. They're telling us that we must all go in together. That the journey that we're on is not one that we do alone ever. And yet we must always know that we are the ones that make all choices, that make all things happen or unhappen. Unhappen. Yeah, okay, yeah, I get it. And now is the time of moving like I see us all standing in this cave, and we're standing still. And then all of a sudden, without anyone saying anything, we all take a step like synchronized dancers together. We take a step to our side, and we don't move, we don't breathe, we just take a step to the side. And it's sort of like a crab or something, but we move as a whole, individuals all sitting there. And then 1, 2, 3, boom, we all take a step. And then there's this pause. And all I see are eyes moving, like looking around and then take a step. Look around and take a step. So we enter the sacred cave and we ask our spirit guides to appear to us. Each person will receive 1, 2, 3 spirit guides. Your spirit guides are yours. They're only here for you. Each of us sees a different reality, a different dimension. The rainbow dolphins are here for everyone. There is this deer, hummingbird. There is crab energy, if that relates to anyone. There's some kind of a pelican and the other birds that came in earlier. The manatees are here, the dolphins are here. The jaguar, but all the cats are here. I'm seeing a lot of domestic cats, but very exotic looking cats sort of laying around looking very exotic, but almost like goddesses or something. So there's a whole cat aspect of energy, and they're laying about like, they're in a harem or something, like cats do. And they're saying, darling, you've got to detach. Don't be attached to anything. Come, enjoy, savor, heal. Take everything, take the sorrow around you, and then leave and travel. Go into your spirit body. Be there. Someone has an otter. Is there a marin or marin or something? Yeah, marin green. You have an otter. There's also a seal, or a sea lion, probably it is. That is here for, well, I keep seeing Lisa. Is it really Lisa? Is it really Lisa? Yes, okay. See what you see, receive what you receive. We're all walking in a synchronized step, taking a breath and then moving forward, following Sylvia. The torch lights flickering on the cave walls. There's a lot of roots on the walls, on the ceiling, like coming through the rock and growing. And it's kind of dark passageway that's not that much higher than our heads, but then it begins to open. You can feel dampness, feels coolness and dampness, like you've entered an underground cave with water. Very still, it's very dark, but suddenly Sylvia's torch just ignites. And it's like a circle of torches around us now light up this space. You're meant to see what you're meant to see. Do you feel like it's a cave, or are you seeing something else? Do you see a shiny light or a disembodied essence? Do you hear a voice or feel a touch? There's a million ways. And this is also a moment where your spirit guides are helping you to illuminate one primary way that you receive guidance and information. So 1, 2, 3, whatever spirit guides you connect with, consciously or not, in this moment, is also one that is going to help you reveal and develop a primary pathway of intuitive guidance. We are here in this sacred space, aligned with our highest good, open and receptive, ready and willing to connect with that which is optimal for my soul, my path, my highest good, healing, empowerment, reconnection, clarity. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Now you just stay here as if you're looking around, you're watching, you're sensing, you're receiving. Maybe you perceive that you relax, you sit, you enter water, you go off into another cave. Is there a light glowing? Is there an angelic presence? Is the water speaking to you? Do you feel water nymphs or spirits? Are there codes in the water that look like sacred geometry? Is there something glowing in a rock underneath? Is there light coming down? Is there a bat or some other animal here? Sit for a moment and receive any spirit guide or guidance in whatever way is optimal. Now relax and allow any other messages, feelings, sensations. Ask that this primary form of intuitive communication light up for you now. And now light up for you again in a different way now. This is a sacred cave. It's a sacred cave of spirit guides. Ask that you lovingly and graciously and gratefully accept all this guidance and the guides. Release and free those that have come just for this moment. Accept and connect with those that want to come with you. And follow Sylvia, the lady of the shining torch of light, holding high for all to see, guiding us to truth, freedom, wisdom. We come out of the cave and the shadows are large, but they loom and they seem lifeless now. We feel armed, rejuvenated, renewed, reconnected. You don't feel alone, frustrated. All those are in the past. And as you emerge from the cave, you feel a patch of sunlight. You wash yourself in these sacred waters, purifying your face, your hands, putting some on your heart, soaking your feet. The water of this sacred place is bringing you a message, saturating your cells, nurturing your soul, awakening and rejuvenating your mind. Receive it and feel it now pouring over your body like a gentle rain. You begin to feel your skin, your face. You sense you're in the sacred temple here with me and everyone else. The sacred cave of the spirit guides fades away. You slowly feel yourself coming back into this moment, into your body, feeling the chair behind you, beneath you. Sense your toes, your skin, your legs. Allow your knees to relax. Feel your hips and your sacral lighter, more aligned, pure, glowing. Now breathe into your body. I give thanks to all of these sacred spirit guides in all dimensions and levels that have gifted me, assisted me, and those who have stayed with me. Let your breath go. Take a deep breath in. I accept and receive these spirit guides, this guidance, this healing. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Pour it into your heart. See it go deep into your belly and fuel your inner sun. Hold your belly with your hands. Rock yourself back and forth. I am love. I am light. I am infinite. The dolphins are looking into your eyes, the hummingbird too. There's some beautiful dogs, some amazing lizards here. There's a canary. There's so many beautiful animals. There's crystals, tall beings of bluish skin. Some of you have selenite, giant selenite pillars. Caves, many of you have cave spirits here, womb spirits, the energy of that sacred place. Sense and feel, allow yourself to come into this moment, not the person you were when you entered this space. Bring yourself back in, allow the spirit guides to ground you, connect you. Be blessed, have a beautiful day and a beautiful night. Namaste. We give great thanks to all of these amazing spirit guides. And may this circle and this door and this cave and these wonders and this guidance be here as a clear and open path anytime that is optimal for each and every one of us. And so it is, and so it is, and so it is. Step into the timeline of your highest good. Walk, walk, talk, talk, think, be. Be one with the birds, the realms, the higher vision. Be ones with the love, the manatees, the waters. Be one with the spirit of the dolphins. And be one with any guides that have come to you today. We give thanks to all of these realms, to Perseus. Namaste.